Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Rewind that. It's your girl, Miss K. So if this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please subscribe if you like the vibe. Also hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one, okay? And hello to all my new subscribers, and hello and thank you so much to my OGs, and thank you to my new subscribers as well. I'm sorry. Okay, so today we're going over Put a Ring on It, episode number 3. It's called Letting Go. All right, so the episode starts off with the introduction of the new couple, Tamika and Vince, who have been dating for 2.5 years, in which Tamika says has been a journey. So off the rip, what I like about them so far, this is from what I'm seeing at this moment, right, when we meet them, is that Vince is sure about Tamika. This is what he says, okay? He says she is his soulmate, and if he could get married, he would marry her today, right? But Tamika is holding things up. So from what it's looking like, Tamika is insecure, and her insecurities are causing her not to trust Vince. But we find out that her insecurities are warranted because when her and Vince met, she told him she wasn't talking to anybody or messing around with anybody else. And he told her the same, that he wasn't messing with nobody either. But come to find out, that was a lie. Like, there was a whole other chick, okay? Because this chick was actually contacting her, all right? So her other issue is that he refuses to admit that this situation was indeed a situation. Okay, so next, Dr. Nicole lets the couples know that this week they're going to be taking things up a notch with both men and women going out on dates. Next, we got Hollywood and Ashley talking things over on the ride home, and Ashley expresses that she doesn't appreciate Hollywood saying all those things in front of people during the session. She lets Hollywood know that it was embarrassing for him to basically act like he could just throw the relationship away like that. Okay, so in the confessional, she lets us know that it doesn't make her feel safe in the relationship when Hollywood is so quick to jump to ending the relationship. And I'm gonna tell you right now, like, Hollywood better stop all that trash talking, because if she really leaves him, oh boy, gonna be hurt, okay? That's just my opinion. Anyway, when Ashley starts to break down about her father never being able to walk her down the aisle, I felt really bad for her. You know, it's because now it's just not about the fact that this dude called off the wedding. She has to deal with the fact that her father isn't here anymore to walk her down the aisle whenever she does get married. And that has to be hurtful. Maybe she thinks about it sometimes, like, if they would have got married, you know, and even if her father still passed away, at least she would have had that precious memory before he passed, you know. And that is something that it really might take a lot for her to get past. And I also just want to say that Hollywood is just going to have to respect however long it takes for her to be ready and heal from the pain. You know, it's just like however long it takes is however long it's going to take. All right. But then Hollywood's going to say that he doesn't have a problem waiting. But in the meantime, don't get mad at me if I'm not talking about a wedding, because I don't know when you're going to be ready. Now, all I have to say to that is he makes a fair point. And, you know, if Ashley isn't ready, then she shouldn't get upset if he doesn't bring up the subject of marriage. But Ashley says she hasn't been upset, you know, for the past 2 years. She hasn't been upset. Okay, so there you have it. And so at this point, I agree with Hollywood that whenever Ashley is ready, to just let him know, because it's a tough situation, right? You know, I'm saying it's a tough situation. So I agree with Hollywood where he says, you know what, I'm just going to wait and you let me know when you're ready. Okay. But Ashley also told him, look, you got to be consistent with some things. And if I don't see that, then it's your fault. Okay. And then she was also telling him, like, you know, I got to see this and I got to see that. But she didn't really get into much detail. She actually was like, you know what, I shouldn't even tell you what it is that you should be working on, you know. And he was like, don't tell me. And my only thing with that is I kind of do think she should tell him, even though she's probably told him 1,000 times over. I get where she's coming from when she says she shouldn't, because and she probably was feeling a little angry too at the same time when she said that, like, I shouldn't tell you nothing. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't give you a daggone chance. But I'm saying I feel like she should tell him, just so that if he screws up or he doesn't hold up to what she told him or to her expectations, that he don't have an excuse when she says peace out. You know what I mean? He can't say, well, oh, I didn't know that you wanted me to be this way, you wanted me to be that way. So this way is just no excuse at all, you know? So that's why I feel like she should have broke it down. But then again, like I said, she probably done spoke about it plenty of times. He even complained about it in the car. Like, how many times you gonna talk to me about this? I heard this 1,000 times, or I heard this over and over. You talk about the same thing. And she says, because you're not listening, you don't seem to get it, you know? So at this point, she's probably just tired of talking. I just feel like Ashley is getting tired, but maybe she's not there yet to the point where she's ready to throw it all away. I know she loves them, and I know they love each other. I could see that, you know? I feel bad because I know, especially now with knowing that her father passed away and she's not going to be able to get that moment. It's just, it's messed up. Anyway, let's move on. Okay. So next we see Vince and Tamika talking about the fact that they have to go on dates, right? And Vince cracks his little joke about not being worried about them cornballs. And Tamika tells him that she wants him to have fun, but there will be no kissing and holding hands. And I wasn't feeling Vince's reaction. You know, he kind of squinted his eyes and kind of like made this expression, you know, but the expression looked like, girl, what you talking about? Like, I ain't trying to hear that. You know, that's just what I was getting. I wasn't sure if he was just playing with her or if he really looked at it as Tamika was trying to ruin his fun. You know what I mean? Next, we have Ashley going on her date. And before we move on, I just want to ask real quick, Ashley, do you like men with facial hair, girl? Because so far, her dates have had facial hair. At least if I could remember, like the first guy, he was light skinned. And I think, if my memory is serving me correctly, he had facial hair. So, you know, she did compliment her date's beard. Anyway, guys, I love the setting of this date, okay? You know, the whole painting situation with candles on the side. I mean, just a beautiful romantic ambiance, okay? And I think Ashley deserves this. You know what I mean? She needs this kind of break. I don't know how Hollywood treats her when it comes to the romance side, but it just looks like your girl needs a break, okay? So it looks like Ashley has some fun, you know, being all cute and flirty. And her date Andre was handsome as well. Okay, so I'm sure that didn't hurt. Anyway, so listen, guys, if Ashley and Hollywood don't work out, honey ain't gonna have no problem on the dating scene, okay? Because she has a charisma that she seems to bring that would push a date forward. You know what I mean? Because she's not boring. So it'll probably be like even push forward the most awkward date. I just don't see her having an awkward date unless the person is just extremely difficult. All right. So next, the ladies meet up and Tamika is excited to be meeting up with them because, you know, she wants a little insight on what to expect with this experience. So Ashley and Shay tell her to prepare herself for Dr. Nicole to dig deep in their relationship. Like a lot of things that I think Ashley was telling her that a lot of things that her and Hollywood kind of swept under the rug, she brought that sucker right up to the surface. You know, she just digs deep in stuff. And it's certain things that they, you know, kind of don't want to talk about or deal with. And Dr. Nicole forces them to deal with it because you have to, you know. So then they talk about how long Michael and Shay had been together. Shay tried to say they were together for 1 year, then friends for 4. But Ashley said, and you ghosted him, right? And I like how Ashley, you know, slid that in there, you know, like, yeah, girl, you ghosted him. We got to put that in there, you know, because it's like, what's the point of hiding that? Like, that is a big issue in your relationship. So it don't make no sense. And you trying to sit there like everything was cool with y'all. Like y'all broke up on some good terms and then y'all were friends for 4 years and decided to get back together. Like, no, girl, it's a whole history behind that. So I like how Ashley, you know, slid that in there because it just makes sense to tell the truth. Like, you know, y'all all here because of some issues that you guys have. All right. So anyway, Shay basically says that Mike should have let her know how he felt when they got back together because she feels it's old news and she pretty much doesn't care about that right now, you know, because she's trying to get married. And Ashley says in the confessional, Shay, I'm sorry, girl, but you was wrong, okay? Or you are wrong. And ain't that the truth? Okay, so now we get to Tamika and she's letting the girls know that, you know, Vince kept messing with this chick 3 months into their relationship, okay? Then she says in the confessional that there was one time when he told her that he was going out of town on business or something, only to find out that he really went to be with the other chick and her family. So yes, as more is being revealed, we see why Tamika doesn't want to marry Vince, because dude be playing games, okay? Especially after that little comment he made earlier about seeing himself being attracted to other women because he's human. But then he says, but I just want to be with Tamika. And I'm like, bruh, if you could still see yourself being attracted to other women, you ain't got no business trying to get married, all right? Don't even try that I'm human crap, because it's just an excuse. And for me, it sounds like he just has an excuse already prepared for future screw-ups, Anyway, let me move on because, I like Vince, but that comment kind of pissed me off a little bit, okay? Now, we got to get to Michael and Shay, a.k.a. Leon and Candy Burris Tucker, and they're having a nice little date night at home, and Shay tells Mike that she wants to get engaged this year and married by next year. And it's a little forward for Shay to be doing this, because it's almost like she's saying to Mike, the heck with owning up to the pain I caused you, okay, and giving you all the time you need. I want to get married, So it's just coming off a bit selfish. And to be honest, I hate that I haven't been able to say anything good about Shay since I started reviewing this show, because she seems like a sweet person. But from what I've been seeing, it's like all I can do is call her out. It's like, come on, Shay, help me out here, sis. I want to say something good. I want to have your back, but wrong is wrong, Anyway, Mike even says that he doesn't think that Shay considers the things that she's done and the commitment issues that she has in certain parts of the relationship. Okay, he said this in the confessional. All right, next we have Tamika going on her date with Everson. And he was pretty sharp, okay, but he was also a bit of a comedian. And Tamika does point out that he was kind of doing the most when he arrived. But it seems like Everson just likes to have fun and make people laugh. Anyway, the date was okay, and Tamika did admit that she cheats herself by worrying about Vince, and that's understandable. And let me just point out that as long as she's concerned with Vince while she's out on these dates, it just goes to show that she's committed to him and respecting boundaries, Now, if Vince goes on his date and he's too caught up in it to the point where, he ain't thinking about Tamika and he's doing stuff that he probably shouldn't be doing, then she may be right about him. He might have a problem being faithful. That's all I'm saying. Next, we have Shay on her date with Peyton, and they're going bowling. They seem to be having fun. Then they start talking about relationships, and Shay tells him that she's actually in a relationship. Okay, and they're trying to figure out if they want to get married or not. So Peyton says, "How is your heart?" Shay tells him that she's all in when it comes to Michael and she wants to get married. So Peyton says, "Okay, so you're not the problem." And Shay says, "No, I'm perfect." And I know she meant it as a joke, but did she really? Things that make you go, Anyway, Shay says in the confessional that as she opened up to Peyton, she found out that there was a lot of chemistry between them and they had fun with each other, and she liked how open and honest he was, and she doesn't feel like she will get Mike to open up at all. Next, we have Hollywood and Ashley's private session with Nicole, and it's pretty much them talking about more of the same. And I say this with all due respect, okay? But we also learn that Hollywood proposed because Ashley gave him an ultimatum and he didn't want to lose her, all right? But then he messed up by calling it off. So basically, he didn't stick to the ultimatum, okay? Let's just get that out the way right now. So then Ashley tells Dr. Nicole that he pretty much robbed her of her fairy tale and that the proposal is tainted. And it's just a lot of pain that she's dealing with. And Hollywood doesn't want to see his woman hurting, but I don't think he fully understands Ashley's pain and how deep it goes. All right. Next, Vince and Tamika are at their apartment, and she tells Vince that she went on a date, which was odd to me because I thought all the couples knew when their significant other went on a date. So I'm a little confused here, guys. All right. So next thing you know, there's a knock at the door. And Tamika is like, that better not be a date. So let's just rewind for a minute, okay, before the knock. Before the knock, Tamika said to Vince that he has his whole date coming up because, you know, she was explaining her date or whatever, and she felt funny about explaining the date, and she felt like he was looking at her in a certain way. So she's like, oh, don't look at me like that. You're making me feel guilty. And then she says, you know, you got this whole date coming up with this fancy chick. And Vince says, when, you know? So fast forward, his date comes knocking on the door, and I'm like, you ain't gonna have me believe that Vince didn't know about this date, okay? I doubt if the producers of the show just have these dates showing up out of the blue without giving these folks enough time to clean themselves up and look presentable. You know, like go on a date looking good. Anyway, bottom line, old boy was ready to go, okay? There was nothing that he needed to do, and I think that's what made Tamika upset, okay? He just sat there acting as if he didn't know when he was going on this date or what day this date was going to happen. Next thing you know, here she come knocking at the door. Like, come on. That's not cool. So how in the world is she supposed to trust a man like that? You know, he's sitting here playing games, talking about some win, knowing daggone well you about to walk out the door to go on a date. Like, it's just messed up, you know, and it's kind of stupid too, because it's like, y'all both signed up for this experience. You guys know that you're going to be going on dates with other people. It's not a secret. So why did you lie? Why did you say when am I going to go on this date? Why did you say that? It makes no sense. Obviously, we know that he's done some cheating stuff before. Like, he's been playing her. He's been with another chick. He's been juggling, right? He's been with Tamika and he's been with the other girl. All right. And for him to lie about going on this date that they are agreed to with this experience, it just makes me feel like it's a thrill that he gets in lying to her. Because why lie about an experience that y'all signed up for? I'm sorry to keep saying it, but that's what it's ridiculous. Why lie about it unless it's the thrill of it all? The thrill that he gets from doing things behind her back, you know? And I think that's why Tamika was upset, because she probably looking at him like, how you just gonna sit here and make it seem like you didn't know you were going on a date when you were? And that was that, guys. So I don't know what to say about this. I really was liking them when they first came in, you know, and that's the whole thing. When people first come in, you don't really know what you're going to get with them. You don't know, you know, what's really going on with their relationship until things start to slowly be revealed from both sides, and even in the sessions with Dr. Nicole. And so I was just like, oh, this couple seems really cool. At least he knows what he wants. He wants to be with her. That's his soulmate, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, they're a handsome couple and everything, too. But it's like, from right now, my assessment right now, I don't think he's good for Tamika. And you know, you could say it's premature, but I don't think so. I think dude might have an issue with being faithful. I think that their relationship and their chemistry is dope. Like, they seem like they're friends. Like, they seem like they can really get along. That's what it's looking like from the outside looking in. But I just don't think he's marriage material. And that's sad to say, because like I said, they're cute together. All right. But guys, that was the episode. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Please let me know your personal thoughts on the new couple, Tamika and Vince. Do you think Vince is marriage material? Do you think that Tamika is insecure? Because I know she came off that way at first, but come on now, after all that's been revealed, I really hope you don't think that sis is insecure at this point. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys. Until next time, you guys take care and be blessed. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.